All right, welcome back, yogis. Today we're going to do a couple of gentle stretches and basic maneuvers to take away a little bit of the pressure if you have lower back pain. Whenever you're approaching yoga for lower back pain, pick your spots. Make good choices. Practice when it's an appropriate setting and time. Practice when you're focused. And if it's just a little too chaotic or too sharp of pain in your back, wait for another time. Let's begin laying on your back, and we'll have a strap where you can use a towel or a t-shirt, a block, or you can use a couple books. And then I have a chair that we're going to put our legs up on. If you have a chair, your couch, or the wall would work just fine. Lying down. And we'll begin in a goddess pose. If your knees, your groin, and your lower back agree, bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Your heels could be close to your body, more of like a triangle shape, or your feet could be further from your body, more of a diamond shape. Then hand placement is up to you, somewhere that allows you to feel relaxed, maybe over your hip points, over your heart and stomach, or an open chest position of some sort. Become aware of your breathing. In and out through your nose. A lot of times if we're experiencing discomfort in our back, it can be a little stressful and anxiety causing. And when we go to approach our yoga practice, we want to slow things down and let some of that energy taper off before it affects our decision making or our awareness. Take 3 more breaths. Practice slowing things down. Use your hands and bring your legs together. Keep your knees close and separate your feet wider than your hips. So your feet are maybe 6 to 8 inches apart, maybe even a sliver wider. Your knees drop inwards. Maybe they can touch or just close to it. And this time, let's pick an open chest position. So arms either out to the sides or maybe cactus arms, bent elbows like goalposts on a football field. Bring the shoulder blades just a little close so your chest has more room. Create the most naturally shaped neck that you can, a subtle arc, your forehead closer to the ceiling than your chin. 5 breaths. Reinforce soothing signals. Two more. Without changing anything in your activity, visualize the muscles of your lower back getting wider from left to right. All right. Hands on the floor, palms facing down, hands are next to your hips. Bring your feet and knees both hip width apart, so about 6 inches between your legs. You're not going to lift your head or your butt. We're just going to tilt and tuck them gently, kind of like cat and cow. Be mindful not to overdo the range of motion. Inhale, tilt your tail towards the floor so your lower back arcs more than normal. Then gently bring your chin towards your throat so the back of your neck gets long. Reverse it, exhale, comfortably tuck your tail, lower back flat. Chin lifts, neck arcs. 4 more. Inhale, tilt the tail, gently tuck the chin. Exhale, tuck your tail, flatten your lower back comfortably, gently lift the chin. Again, inhale, tilt the tail, arc the low spine, tuck the chin. Less can be more. Exhale, reverse it. Try not to jam into the low spine, but lengthen it comfortably. Again, inhale. And exhale. Come back to your natural shapes, arms out like a T. So your lower back and your neck have natural arcs to them. Try to maintain those natural arcs. Your feet won't change positions. They're just going to pivot so the soles of the feet can face in when necessary. Inhale, open your knees away from each other. Soles of your feet face each other. Exhale, slowly bring the knees together. Again, inhale, knees apart on the outer edges of your feet. Exhale, slowly bring the knees towards each other. Inhale, open the knees, lower back does not change. Exhale, knees close. Once more. Inhale, open the knees. And exhale, close them. And try to preserve the natural arc in your lower back. Right leg in, a wind removing pose. Interlace your fingers, grab the shin. Bring the knee a little wide towards your armpit and then hug it in. So you don't have a collision at the front of the hip. You have a nice smooth glide. Now if you're feeling really tender, you can keep the left leg bent and the foot flat. If your lower back agrees, straighten the left leg forward and down. Nothing else changes but the right arm. Reach your right arm up, your thumb facing the wall that your head's pointing at. Reach the right arm over your head. Your thumb either touches or faces the floor. Press forward through your inner left heel. Press down through the back of the left heel. Tighten your left thigh muscles and your lower abs. And from your outer right shoulder blade, shrug towards your fingernails. So you're not trying to get congested into the collarbone. You're taking your shoulder blade towards your armpit and up. 3, 2, last one. Right arm comes down. Give the right knee one last gentle hug. Keep the right knee bent. Place the foot on the floor. Push the foot into the floor a little. Left leg in. Interlace the fingers. Bring the shin a little wide and then hug in towards your armpit. Then again, if you're really tender, right knee can stay bent. Feel that it's appropriate. Right leg straight and active. Press forward through your inner right heel. Tighten the thigh muscles and push down the back of the heel. Left arm, reach it up towards the ceiling, thumb pointing at the wall that your head's pointing at. And reach that left arm over your head. So your left thumb is facing the floor, your right heel is reaching, and from your left fingertips to your inner right heel, create as much length as you can. Lower abdomen strong. Lower back naturally shaped, subtle arc. You're not letting the ribs flare up and create too much arc. You're not forcefully tucking and flattening your back. You have that happy natural shape. 3, 2, 1 more. Bring the left hand down, give the left knee one more squeeze. Keep the left leg bent and set that foot flat on the floor. Grab your strap or your towel or your t-shirt. And let's hook the ball of your right foot. And we can hold the strap with both hands. So again, we're keeping that idea of maintaining the natural arc of your lower back. We're trying to support and protect the lower back and just work around the region on some of the things that might be tugging on the lower back. So engage the ball of your foot, press it into the strap. Whether you point the foot or flex the toes towards you, it's really up to your comfort level, but be active. A little bend in the right knee can help you maintain the natural lower back. Reach the bottom of your right butt cheek away from your lower back and your inner right thigh down into the back of your hip socket. Shoulder blades heavy so your chest is wide and the back of your neck is naturally shaped. 3 breaths. Carefully unhook the right foot. Set the strap off to the side where it's handy. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh in a figure 4 shape. So an ankle bone to thigh muscle connection. Reach the arms out like a T. Scoot your butt a sliver to the right and roll onto your outer left hip. Move slowly. Now, if your right foot doesn't make it to the floor, you can try scooting your hips around or take your block and set it underneath your right foot. So we want to make sure that foot is stable and the ball of your foot is either on the block or the floor. Lower abs strong, spine spacious, so each portion of the spine contributes a little to the twist. No one part does too much. Comfortably reach your right butt cheek away from your body and towards the floor. So your right knee starts to pivot up towards the ceiling without straining in the knee or the hip. You can look up, you might look to your right. And if you don't feel enough, you can consider bringing your left thigh, the bottom leg's thigh, closer to your stomach, folding at the hips more like a chair shape. Breathe to where you feel it. Please don't tolerate pain. Last one. Be extra supportive on your way out. Firm up your abs. Look up. Return your legs to center. Let's hamstring stretch the left leg. Bend the right leg. Set that foot on the floor. Grab your strap. Hook the ball of your left foot. More on the ball of the foot, less on the arches. And we're interested in maintaining the comfortable, natural shape of your lower back. So if that means bending the left knee a little, worth it. If that means bringing the left leg a little forward, worth it. Be active with the ball of your foot, strong with the thigh. Move your inner left thigh bone down into the back of your hip socket and reach your outer left butt cheek away from your rib cage. So your inner right thigh draws down, your inner left thigh, draws down, your outer left hip lengthens away from your torso. 3 breaths. Last one. Carefully unhook the left foot. Set the strap off to the side. Cross left ankle over right thigh. So you have a figure 4 shape. Reach the arms out like wings. Scoot your butt a little to the left. And then roll onto your right side, roll onto your right hip. Take your time, move slowly. You might put a block underneath the foot if you need extra support. You might bring the right thigh closer to your stomach if you would like more intensity. Let's try to get that left foot flat on the floor. press the ball of the foot into the floor comfortably and reach your left butt cheek away from your body and towards the floor. So your left knee starts to pivot, inner thigh up, knee up. You can look to the sky, you might look to the left. Try to create a long spine where each portion of the spine contributes a little, so no one part of your spine feels like it twists too much. Observe your breathing. Soften your expression. Take 2 more. Be a little extra supportive on this transition. Lower abs strong. Carefully return your legs to center. And set your feet to the floor. And grab your block or your books or whatever we're using as this type of shape. We'll put it on its lowest setting and slide it underneath your sacrum. So right about where your spine meets your hips, airing a little low rather than high. So knees bent, feet flat, supported bridge, trying to get your shins practically straight up and down and your feet parallel. And you can just kind of feel it out and do that to the very best of your ability. Even pressure throughout the feet. Reset the hips comfortably so that the front side of your hips feels spacious and the lower back feels comfortable without pinching. If you feel any pinching, the block's probably too high, so you can just get more of your butt on the block. Turn your palms to face the ceiling. Wiggle your shoulder blades just a little closer so they absorb more weight and so that your collarbones are wide. If you overdo that, your neck will tell you because it won't be in its natural and comfortable shape. We're here to breathe. Don't tolerate pain, but if it feels okay, we'll be here for about 3 minutes. Continue breathing. Stay focused on what you feel. Soften wherever possible. A lot of times when our back is aggravated, especially if it's not like a specific injury from a trauma, but this is normal wear and tear from active lifestyle or from sitting too much or any number of reasons, our mind might go to a place where like, I just wish there was one movement or one stretch or one person that can just crack my back and it's just gonna be perfect. It's gonna be right back to normal. One choice and all the pain goes away. And in a lot of scenarios, the tension and discomfort that crept into your back built up over time. And our yogic approach to relieving that pressure is one of patience. Progressively softening where possible. Unloading some of the pressure put on your lower back from the hips, the hip flexors, hamstrings, glutes, outer hips, obliques. And using our breath and our softening meditation in an effort to convince your nervous system that you're safe and it's time to heal. That it's okay to invest resources and energy into rebuilding, softening, and developing. You have 1 more minute here. Notice what's going on with your feet and your knees. Make sure they're not falling in or out or keeping the feet evenly distributed with weight. Your knees are pointing straight up. Take your time. Press down your feet. Lift your hips off the block or books. Get the block out of the way. And set your hips back down to the floor. Now, before you do anything, just take a breath or two and observe how you feel. Let's not be in a rush to move. Reach your right arm over your head. Roll onto your right side fetal position. And press yourself up comfortably to hands and knees. And take just a few moments in tabletop and feel out how it feels to have weight in your hands and wake up your fingertips and to move your spine in a gentle and curious way. So cats and cows are forward and back. C curves, lateral flexion. You can go side to side. You might just swing your hips around. Whatever you do, just breathe rhythmically, move slowly. We're curious more than forceful. And when you're getting used to putting pressure in your hands, make sure your fingers are spread wide. Your thumbs are comfortable. Try not to overstretch them. All of your fingertips are squeezing into the floor. And the knuckles that connect your fingers to your hands are anchored. Come back to center. Press down and squeeze in with your hands. Squeeze your outer left butt muscles into the hip socket and reach the right leg back. Now you can do this with your toes tucked or you can do this with the foot lifted. Press through the inner right heel, pull up with your lower abs and squeeze your outer left butt muscles in. You can stay with two hands on the floor or reach the left arm forward. Lift off your right shoulder. Pull in your lower abs and find as much length and activity through your lifted arm and leg as you can. 3, 2. Change. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Left leg goes back. You can have the toes tucked and work in the same techniques or lift the leg. Lower abs pull in so we don't overly arc our lower back. Outer right butt muscles squeeze in so our balancing leg is stable. And possibly reach the right arm. Now notice, so we sink into the left shoulder, lift off the left shoulder, get your chest higher than the arm bone. Reach through the limbs actively, press back through your inner left heel, reach forward with your outer right shoulder blade towards your fingernails. 3, 2. Big breath. Change, come on down. Cool. So we'll be using either a wall, your couch, or a chair. I'm gonna grab mine. And whether you're using a wall or a chair or your couch, we're gonna try to create basically the same shape, a 90-90, a 90-degree bend at the knees, roughly, and a 90-degree fold at the hips. So lie on your side next to your chair, block, or wall, or chair, couch, or wall. And then roll onto your back so that you can put your calves onto the chair so that your thighs are practically straight up and down. So you might have to wiggle a little bit and scoot. If you're really tender, just reposition from your side. It's about good. And if you're on the wall, same idea, about a 90-90, shins roughly even with the floor, thighs roughly vertical. We want to just feel that we're unloading the lower back, that we're taking the hip flexor, glutes, hamstrings, quads, and putting them in a pretty even position for each other, and that your lower back feels very light and weightless. Hand placement is up to you, maybe on the floor or out to the sides. And again, we'll spend about 2 to 3 minutes here. Do not tolerate pain. But try to stay focused on what we're doing. Draw your awareness to your breath, and your intention to your body's ability to heal. Yogis, stay here for as long as it feels appropriate. Try not to push it, so maybe 5 minutes will be the max. When it's your time to move, just do so really slowly. And then just take a gentle walk around and see how your body feels. Now, if you're interested, when you get a chance, experiment with when you're in the shower. Put the water on the hottest that you can handle it without being in pain, and let it run over your back for 30 seconds. Then trade it to the coldest that you can take or create. Put it over your back for 30 seconds and alternate 2 or 3 times. Happy healing. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.